Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about finance. And right now, I'm at Kings Park, Perth. Look at it, how beautiful the park is. Look at it behind me. You got the trees, the flowers, the blooming flowers. Well, it's a very hot day today. I'm going to share about my debt journey, how I got into debt, and how I actually went out of debt. So the most important thing was that in my early, maybe mid 20s, when I started working, my salary was about $3,000 per month, and I didn't spend it wisely. All my salary went to uh, drinks, pubs, restaurants, some traveling, of course. I was overspending on stuff. I didn't invest. I didn't save, and it was a sad period for me. So from what happened was that from my salary every time by the 15th of the month, okay, salary is of course monthly. So by the 15th day of the month, I was totally broke, and I didn't have any funds to survive. So what I did was that I applied for credit cards. That was new to me, and credit cards was the way out for me, whereby I had a credit limit which I could use, and if I spent $1,000, the minimum sum was only $50, and I was so glad. It was such a easy way to continue with my extravagant lifestyle, and yet I only pay $50 for every $1,000 that I spend. So it was $2,000 I spent on the credit limit. Just needed to pay the minimum payment of only about $100. That's a very good deal, in my eyes, of course. So I continued my lifestyle happily until one credit card after another credit card got busted. And each time I used the credit card up to its limit. The typical limit when I was working was $5,000. $6,000. So once I completed and bust that credit limit, what I did next was to give myself another credit card, treat myself to another credit card. I applied for a credit card, applied for overdraft. Sometimes they had a good deal. The banks provided promotions whereby if you just transfer your funds, they call it a balance transfer. You transfer your funds from credit card A to credit card B. Your interest is reduced from 24% just to about maybe 8% for the first 6 months. Thereafter, you'll go back to 24%. So I was using this rolling method in order to finance my bad lifestyle. Yeah. So what happened next was that before I knew it, in about 2 years to 3 years, I had amassed a debt of about $60,000 over, I believe, maybe about 10 credit cards, maybe 5 credit cards and 5 overdraft facilities. It was a bad time for me, and every month, by the end of the month, I was already using my credit limit. So for example, when I had to pay a credit card bill for the 60,000 that I have or 50,000 that I have, I had to pay the credit card bill. It would almost all my salary, $3,000 would have gone there. Maybe about 2,000 would have gone there. So I have 1,000 or maybe slightly less than that to actually save, or not say save, but to use for current expenditure. It didn't work out that well for me because whatever I paid to the credit card, that $2,000 that I paid to the credit card, I would reuse again the funds. And then the credit card limit from maybe after my payment was $4,500 balance, it goes back up to $5,000 by the end of the month. And then that was a vicious cycle which I kept on going, and I realized that it was not feasible, and it was very, very stressful. So one fine day when I was really down on my luck, it was Christmas Day, I remember. So I was actually sitting down outside the shopping center. I couldn't meet my friends because at that point in time, they had their gatherings. They were going out partying, and they even asked me to go, but I didn't have the funds, so I didn't go. So for me, it was a very sad period whereby I just sat down in front of a shopping center. Singaporeans will know it's Plaza Singapura along Orchard Road. I sat down and watched other friends, of course, not my friends, families getting together, having a merry ball of a time. eating their food, restaurants. I remembered in my pocket I had $2 and I couldn't even buy myself a dinner. So that was a wake-up call for me, and I realized that I cannot continue to do this because it will suck the life out of me, and I was very, very down because of that. But it woke me up. It gave me a purpose. I told myself that I need to get out of this because this is not working out for me, and it's not getting any better. Well, look at the Perth view. Let me just show you the view first. The view of Perth City with Elizabeth Quay. I think those are the condominiums. The city is at the other side. Let me have a look. Look at that, the beauty of Perth. And you know what? The moon is there. You can see the moon. I'm not sure whether it's visible on the camera, but I can see the moon. Kings Park, awesome. Yep, so what I did was I approached a debt consolidation company, a company that will help people in debt to consolidate and to negotiate with banks. At first, I was very skeptical on this, thinking that it was a bad move because I don't trust these companies. Maybe it's a scam, maybe it's after your money, especially those who are desperate and in financial need. So what I did was I had to do it. I approached this company, a lady not older than myself, maybe at that point in time 27, 28 years old, and the lady was around my age. She was assigned to assist me, and what she did was she told me, list all your income, what you spend on as well, and also your debts. List all of them down, which bank, how much you owe for credit card, overdraft, everything was already was to be listed so that she can actually come up with a plan to help me out. Yeah, so I did it. It was embarrassing, but after 2 visits, I had to list down my income, the amount of expenses I had, as well as the credit cards and overdrafts that I've used. So on my 3rd visit, what they do was that, okay, let's say if a credit card, I had to pay a credit card company, a bank, for a credit card, maybe $300 a month. Some banks $250 a month because I blasted the credit limit. So what they would do is that the company, she would actually negotiate with the bank on my behalf to share with them that I am in deep debt because, and to be upfront with them that I have intention to pay off my debt and not to run away from these companies. So she came up with a plan to negotiate with them. So $300 she negotiated for the company to accept a payment of maybe $150 or $200. So the company will actually come back to her. This will take about a few weeks. It wasn't so immediate. So she would send an email to all these companies, 10 companies, or maybe 5 companies because there's overdraft and credit card, so thereabouts. And then she would wait for their response, and the companies, what they would do is they would come back and say, okay, we're willing to negotiate and we'll reduce the payment from maybe $300 to $250. But that wasn't good enough because that would kill me still. So again, another round of negotiations. Finally, the company, some of them relented at $100, some $150 per month, some $170, some $250. So I took it up. Yeah, but during that negotiation, which took about 2 months, I didn't need to pay any minimum sum to any of these companies, but I had to pay a fee to this debt consolidation company. And what they would do is that they would that period whereby it's free for me not to actually pay the banks, I had to pay them. So meaning that $1,500 or $2,000 that I paid to the companies, I had to actually pay the debt company a fee of about, I think I paid about $1,500 for them to assist me. So that was the fee that I needed to pay in order for them to help me and negotiate for me. So once they have done so, that first month I didn't pay the bank, so I paid them all what I'm supposed to pay to the bank. I paid to this company. They got their payment in full after the first month. Yeah, all my credit cards, my overdrafts were cancelled and cut up by the companies itself, the banks itself, and I had no use of any credit card or overdraft. Out of it. Yeah, they've removed me from the system, and then the negotiation began, and of course after the second or third month, I could actually start the payment proper. So instead of paying 2,000 a month to all these companies, the consolidated amount I think was about 1,200 for everyone, and that was actually a good thing for me because then I had money to survive on. So my pay when I get back my pay of about $3,000 or maybe 2,008 after the CPF deduction, I had enough to survive. Although the payment plan was for a period of between 5 to 7 years, so it's a very long payment plan. It was a struggle because it's not easy seeing your money go up to removed from your whatever income and hard work that you did for the month. That money was removed from you and it went to, of course, the banks, about 1,200 in total. And I had to live with a balance of about 1,000, 1,200, 300 for a few years at least. So I took it to upon myself to actually do side jobs. I had a main job, which I treasured because that's keeping me alive. But the main job was also very stressful, but I had to do it. I had to do what I had to do, and on a Saturday or a Sunday, I had to do different kinds of side jobs, side gigs, which included being a security guard, working in call centers for 4 hours, 5 hours part-time just to earn extra money. And each time for my main job, I had a bonus or some kind of increment from my income. I would just take that amount and push it into the debt so that it reduces faster than ever. Yeah. So when I went to this journey, I built up in my income in my main job as well. And as my income increased over the next 2 years, I was able to pay more and more to the credit card. So if they needed a payment of 1,200, all the credit cards and overdraft, what I would do is I will pay them $1,600, $1,700, sometimes $2,000 or even $4,000 when I had bonuses. I'll just lump it there, threw it at them because I wanted this cleared ASAP. It's not doing me any good. So finally, after about four and a half years, I managed to clear $60,000 worth of debt just by working hard, making sure I did not spend on unnecessary stuff. My clubbing, even I was young, even when I had to go for clubs or pubs, I made it a point to spend only a budget. Meaning when I went to the club, I knew today I'm just going to spend $50 or $80, and I'm not going there for another 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So instead of the previous lifestyle which I had, and I had to go, I went to these clubs for like 3 times a week, 4 times a week sometimes. I will club until 4 a.m. and then the next day I will go to office at 8 a.m., 8:30, sleeping only 3-4 hours. So that was my lifestyle before. So this new lifestyle is being more self-conscious and financially savvy, budgeting, doing a good budget, and making sure to a T that I make the payment to the debts that I had. 1,200 a month, I put it aside. So my income in my mind was only maybe about 1,500 per month, 1,600 per month, and it's not 2,800 when I was younger. So I made it a point to think that way, and of course, I didn't eat at restaurants so much. I spend most of my food on simple stuff like bread, meats you can get from the supermarket, home cooked meals, as well as fruits, anything from a supermarket, which was cost effective. Yeah, so that was how I went off and got my debt removed from my name. Although for the next 5 to 6 years, my credit bureau report which is the credit report, was really, really bad, and I couldn't apply for anything for the next 5 years. It was painful, but it was a journey to be taken, and I did take it. Yeah, I had a supportive wife who was always. I didn't take any money from her nor my family or friends, but she was supportive in the sense that she knew I had this problem when I got married, of course, and she was very supportive. So when she knew that she couldn't get me to a restaurant, if she wanted to eat something very nice, okay, maybe once a month, once in 2 months, but she's not the type that would actually yearn for restaurant food because she knows on the financial predicament that I was in. Yep. So this is a story of how debt actually saved me, and how debt actually made me think better, and the debt consolidation company that assisted me did a good job. They helped me out. I didn't know this kind of help could this kind of company could help. I was skeptical at first, but it worked out well, and I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So guys, if you are ever in debt, a large amount, and you have a lot of credit cards that you are owing tens of thousands, consider the debt consolidation companies. And I'm sure you may be skeptical, but at least have a look, speak to them, make sure they're legit. And I guess you would be thankful that you have gone through it, because at the end of the day, they provide a finance plan, and your commitment to that plan in order to make it work will ease you out of the debt and make your life better for you. So I hope this sharing was good for you guys, because it is really what I went through. Some people might not feel that it's the right thing to do, but for me, I went through it. It worked out well for me. So I'm not sure. It might work out well for maybe any of you who are in debts. And then once the debts are cleared, move forward, start your savings and your retirement plan. Ciao.